All right, I think this thing's recording. So guys, Coach Medina here from Yancy Camp. I had a chance to talk with Yancy and we went over all of your questions for this first video topic series that we'll be covering, which is non-Yancy Camp days. There was a lot of questions, so we decided the best way to go by doing this would be breaking this up into 5-minute video segments. This way it's something that you can watch on the go or whenever you have spare time, as opposed to, having to break up a 20-minute video with all the questions to give you guys detailed answers. The goal is to, try and get out at least one video a week as far as answering some questions and to get it within 5 minutes. So I'll try and be as concise as I can with this and hope to answer your questions. Number one, which really came up a lot, was the idea of prioritizing. So with everything that we're trying to do, Yancy Camp and racing and family and all these obligations that we have to face, how do we prioritize effectively as far as all of those things? We're also looking at what does a full week of training look like? How do we avoid overtraining? And should we take active recovery days or rest days? And what meshes well? So we're going to just get right to the most basic and fundamental part of this, and that whenever an athlete signs up with Yancy Camp and chooses a coach, someone like myself, or Rose, Glenn, Morgan, Ben, Benny, the Bear, you name it, you're getting 3 of our workouts a week. Every single time, 3 workouts, regardless of the athlete. That's how it is. And every athlete, no matter what, you're going to see that we are falling into, the same sort of specific things that you need to work on to be successful in OCR, which is your running, your ability to climb, and your OCR specific strength, grip and pull. With that being said, we want all of our athletes, regardless of what your focus is, whether it's trying to run 24 hours at World's Toughest or running a stadium race or TMX or, middle distances, we want to focus on the 4 pillars of OCR, which is your grip and pull strength, your endurance, your lower body strength, and your running, right? So every week, every athlete, every workout is always going to have some combination of those components that we focus on. And the program is designed around these pillars so that come race day, you will be more successful on the course. But the key to that is consistency. So when I say consistency, that means completing the 3 workouts a week, completing them. Even if you got to break them up, into half during this part of the day and half during the later part of the day, you got to get it done. And ideally, you get to the point where you can complete the whole thing. The reason being is that if we're completing the 3 workouts a week, then the idea of adding additional strength isn't really necessary at that point. Because if you look at the workouts, there's already a ton of strength in them. And we're really working on that. So if you must add something else, we would say that it's something like 1 additional day of strength work. Like if you want to go to a CrossFit class with your girlfriend or your friends or your wife or whatever it may be, or if you want to go to like a yoga day or something like that with someone, or just for your active recovery day. The other additional workout that you can do, talking about filling out a full Yancy Camp week, is adding, a low impact aerobic day, whether that's swimming, biking, running, a steady state climb, a tire drag, a row, any of that stuff is a good idea. So if we were to break it down, you can do something like Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays Yancy Camp, or you can do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, depending on your schedule and what works for you. And the days in between that is where you would want to add that extra strength day or that extra run. And if you must have a 6th day, then make that 6th day your active recovery, where you are making an effort to mobilize, to stretch and roll, to, give your body some extra attention and maintenance, because we are beating ourselves up with these workouts, But again, the key is consistency. So as far as avoiding overtraining, the simplest way is obviously listening to your body. But if we want to get more scientific about it, and I'm a big fan of science, Yancy's a big fan of science, most of us are big fans of science, there's this little app on your phone that you can download that's called HRV, Elite HRV specifically. You can link your heart rate monitor to it, and from there you can check your heart rate variability. Heart rate variability, what it tells us is whether we're overtraining, whether we're climbing or getting to a point where we're trying to achieve a peak, or if we are, deloading, HRV helps with that. There are excellent resources on Elite HRV in addition to podcasts that come with it that you can listen to that really help demystify the subject of HRV. That would be like my favorite thing to do if every one of us would get on Elite HRV and start to take a second to really understand what our heart is telling us as far as the day-to-day with workouts and everything else that we deal with. As far as needing a full day of recovery and rest, absolutely. 5 days a week is good. If you need that 6th day, take that 6th day as active recovery, and a 7th day, as like a real low sort of effort kind of day where, you might go for a hike or do something mellow, but you don't need to like pound the pavement. The other thing, as far as what meshes well, like I said, an extra strength day is good. An extra run day, some yoga, anything like that. But ideally we want to keep it to 5 days, a 6th day if you must. The last thing would be adding in something like a kettlebell program that is easy and simple. I actually just started this to kind of help fill in the time because I'm dealing with my ankle, which thankfully it's better, but now I got like a little cyst on my other ankle, so I'm trying to find ways to work around it. So yeah, I'd look into things that you can build into it that don't really add to the load on your body as far as our volume is concerned, because we don't want to overtrain, we don't want to hurt ourselves, and we don't want to be out of the race, bearing mechanical issues that are out of our control, or things that are out of our control. So this is the first video. Next time we're going to cover some other topics along the lines of non-Yancy Camp training days. If I find the time, I might try and get it up tomorrow so that way we can move through this topic as soon as possible to get those questions done and then move on to the next one. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and see you around. Train hard.